For an assessment of the Korean president's achievements at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Manila, we're joined live in the studio by Dr. Yang Jun-suk, professor of economics at the Catholic University of Korea. Dr. Yang, good to see you again.
Happy to be here.
Let me first ask you about your overall impression about the joint statement.
Okay, well, it's not different from the joint statements that they have other years. APEC actually covers a very wide area of interest. So what the leader's statement tries to do is to hit on as many of them as possible and then try to emphasize what they want to do for the next year in all of these areas. As a result of that, it's a very wide-ranging document. It has a little bit of everything. And this year it wasn't that different. What is though noteworthy here is that, well, because of the Paris terrorism incident, they did start off with a condemnation of terrorism, and then they have what they have every year, which is to try to get the WTO Doha round started again. But I note that they didn't come up with any concrete initiatives. So that tells you that it's something that they just say every year. And then a lot of issues here. Some of them I think were emphasized because Philippines wanted to emphasize them.
The host country.
Yes, and they have things like financial cooperation, which includes Cebu Action Plan. So that's why you want to become a host country, so you can try to emphasize issues that matter to you.
Well, Korea gets to emphasize the issues that matters to Korea once again in 2025.
Right, and you could sort of see why, how popular this event is because they're planning 10 years ahead.
Right.
And what this type of leaders meeting allows you to do is to have personal contact with the leaders of the major countries in your country so they can actually see and get interest on your country's situation. So that's why Korea or other countries are so keen to try to host this event.
Right. So would you say that President Park's role at the APEC summit in Manila this time around was to I guess, win endorsements from other countries for Korea to host this summit in 2025?
Partially. I think what Korea tries to do, like every other APEC member country, is to try to get more emphasis on issues that interest Korea. And this time around, it was inclusive growth, it was small and medium-sized enterprises, it was market opening through measures like FTA. So in that sense, she was very successful. But on the other hand, I think she did not want to take too much of the limelight this time. So she came with a very wide-ranging agenda.
Well, many of the members of various multilateral free trade agreements were present at the APEC summit, the U.S.-led TPP, the China-led RCEP. And how would those have impact on the APEC-driven FTAAP, the free trade agreement of the Asia-Pacific? So many multilateral deals. Okay,
well, it was interesting that they actually included a statement saying that they were very happy that TPP was more or less completed, and they encouraged RCEP to proceed faster. So they're standing behind both of them with the recognition that once those two are over, then they're going to be the building blocks for FTAAP. So I think this reaffirms their commitment to market liberalization, which is actually one of the two reasons why APEC was created in the first place. The two reasons were market liberalization in services and goods exports and international investment and capacity building, helping each other. So having this emphasis on market liberalization is natural for them.
Right, and it seems to have hit all those points, the right points, although albeit at a very average level, but it did hit all those points.
Right. So that's what APEC is supposed to do. That's what the leaders meeting is supposed to do. It's supposed to reaffirm what the APEC is doing and try to give a nudge to certain directions that you want it to go, the leaders as well as the host country.
All right, Dr. Yang Jun-suk, professor of economics at the Catholic University of Korea. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us this evening. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.